I played with all the bebop cats growing up, like Dizzy Gillespie and people like that.
Yeah.
I learned the bebop, and I know it was bebop because Dizzy said it was.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
because one night I was playing with Dizzy at the Blue Note in New York, right? And he had featured me on a piece that Lalo Schifrin had written for him.
Oh, damn.
And he was standing there. I had been playing with him now over a period of about maybe 5 years, off and on, because I was never a steady member of his band. I would just do certain gigs, you know, concerts and things like that with him. And he's standing there listening to me. And when I play, I got a style. When I play, I make people listen because I don't play loud. When I get loud, then people are ready to get wet in their pants. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm playing this solo, and the room, you can't hear a pin drop in the room, you know. And all of a sudden, Dizzy says, he broke the silence. He says, "Now I know what you're playing, motherfucker. You're playing bebop." And bebop, he created bebop. It just dawned on him all those years I've been playing with him that I was playing bebop, and I wasn't playing no different then than I had played in the past. But it was the first time that it connected with his mind. Yeah, man.
Oh, wow.
And his name wasn't Dizzy for nothing. He was really a dizzy cat. He'd take one drink of cognac, man, and he'd become a hyperactive child.
Wow.
I'm serious, man. Oh, but I loved him, man. He was a crazy cat, man. Crazy cat.
Oh, man.
Yeah, now I know what you're playing, motherfucker. You're playing bebop. And he don't realize, man, I went to cloud 9 when he said that.
Yeah.
I said, now I know. I know now beyond a shadow of a doubt. You gotta have the chops to play bebop. Bebop is far more complicated than hip hop.
Right.
Hip hop was doom, bop, boom, bop, that's hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But bebop is. You know, that's bebop. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
man.
when Dizzy woke up that day on the bandstand and says, you know, did I tell you that story? Yeah. Yeah. Now I know what you're playing, motherfucker. You're playing bebop. I said, what? I went to cloud 9, man. That was beautiful, man. I'll never forget that night as long as I live. He was standing there just like with his horn in his hand, just like this. And I'm playing here, and he was over there. And he's listening, and he's listening. And it suddenly dawned on him that I was playing what he created. You know?
It's beautiful. Man.
Yeah, man, it was beautiful. I'll never forget that night. And I was the youngest cat on the block. I finally meet Dizzy Gillespie. I'm playing at the African Room with those same cats, Milford Grave and all of them.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, Dizzy is playing at Birdland. I go to Birdland. Now, before I left Miami, Blue Mitchell, who's a great trumpet player, told me, because Blue Mitchell's from Florida. I knew Blue. Blue said, if you go to New York, you see Dizzy, just tell him Blue sent you, and Dizzy will give you a gig.
Okay.
Right? So, cool.
Yeah.
So I go down to hear him play, and when I get there, you know, 52nd Street, you walk up the street, and then you walk down some steps to one level, and there's the box office. You buy your ticket, then you're in the club. Same as like when Eric Dolphy was playing there.
Right.
But this was before the Eric Dolphy thing.
Right.
So when I walked down to the ticket booth, lucky for me, Dizzy was standing right there.
Oh, okay.
By the ticket booth talking to another cat, right? So I didn't say nothing. I just went up and bought my ticket, and I just stood back to wait for him to finish talking to the cat so I could make my approach on him. So when he got through talking with the cat disappeared into the club, and just as he was about to go, I said, "Mr. Gillespie," and he turned around and looked at me, and I says, "My name is Big Black. I'm a friend of Blue Mitchell." And Blue says, "If I ever meet you," and he looked at my hand before I could finish saying about Blue. He looked at my hand like I was stupid, and turned around and left me standing there. I felt like an asshole.
Wow.
I felt like a complete fool.
Wow.
He didn't even acknowledge me, man.
Damn.
You hear what I'm saying? All right. About a year goes by. We had just got through doing that Night of the Cookers album.
Right.
With Freddie Hubbard and Lee Morgan.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And me and my buddy, Black Harold,
Oh, wow.
who did Message to Our Ancestors. You got
Yeah,
that record?
Yeah, I do.
That album, we had just got through doing that record. It wasn't out yet, but we had just got through playing it on our buddy who had a recording studio in his house, which was O'Brien, who later died in a plane crash. Yeah, he used to fly business people between here and South America and places like that. And his plane, he was coming back and his plane went down in the Gulf and he was never found again.
Wow.
My buddy, boy, he was my best buddy.
Man.
And I remember the last time I saw him, man, he had promised me a steak dinner and he never got it. So he came by and knocked on the door where I was staying one day and said, "Here, man, here's your steak. I'm sorry I can't give you the dinner, but cook it yourself." That was him, you know. Anyway, that was a delicious piece of steak he gave me. So, where were we?
You were saying about Dizzy.
Yeah. So this is years. This is right after I did that album.
Night of the Cookers.
Me and Harold was going to do this. At the Night of the Cookers was done at a club called the La Michelle in Brooklyn. So me and Harold had it booked for us to do a gig there after that concert, because that concert was done by an all-women's social club. Freddie Hubbard's wife was the head of that social club. He was married to a beautiful black sister, had a son by her. And they were that was their gig. And that concert came out of their gig.
Oh, wow.
All these bad motherfuckers. And I was the youngest cat on the block in that group. And maybe I wasn't the youngest, but I was the newest. So me and Harold had booked it for the following week to do a gig, or the following month to do, because you know, they were booked up. You know, they bring different groups in. So I had some flyers printed up with my name, Big Black Harold. You understand? Concert. You know, with flute and drums and bass, just the three of us. So Paul Robeson had just returned from Russia, and he was ill. And they were doing a fundraiser for him at the Americana Hotel in Manhattan.
Right.
And Randy Weston, whom I was playing with at the time, was invited. You see what I'm saying? Actually, I was playing with Freddie Hubbard and Randy Weston, cause with that same band that we did the Night of the Cookers with, we closed Birdland. We played the final night in Birdland on 52nd Street. The next day, Birdland became a wash house.
Wow.
There's no lie. The famous Birdland Club.
Yeah.
So I'm in the lobby of the hotel with my flyers. I figure all these people coming, I'm gonna pass out some flyers for our gig. So Randy could not make it. Randy was supposed to perform that night. You dig it? I was gonna play with him if he had come. But he had, his arms had swollen up again.
Wow.
Second time his arms had ever swollen up since I've been playing, and he couldn't make it. So he said, "Man, I want you to go down there and represent me. If they call me, just go up and, you know, give my apologies and let them know that I'm sick and I can't make it." So I said, okay. Well, they never did call him. You understand? But I was there passing out my flyers for my gig.
Yeah.
You understand? In the lobby. Who walks up but Dizzy Gillespie? He snatched my flyer out of my hand like that. And he'd look at it and he says, "Big Black, I heard about you." As if he wasn't the same cat that I had met months later, months earlier.
Yeah.
"I heard about you. You want to play with me?"
Just
See
like
how
that.
shit happens, man?
Just like that.
My ultimate dream's coming true right now in front of me.
Yeah.
This is a childhood dream. From the time I started playing drums.
Yeah.
I said, "You damn right I want to play with you." He says, come to the village gate on Monday night, this Monday night.
No rehearsal, just come to the gig.
Just come, bring your drum, come to the gig. I says, okay, I'll be there. And then those big old curtains that they got in the hall.
Yeah.
He said, come here. He went and grabbed that curtain and pulled it around us like that, and pulled out one of those cans that you put film in. You know, he had it full of pure Peruvian pink blow. And he shoveled 2 big scoops up my nose.
Oh my God.
Man, that was probably the second time in my life that I'd ever snorted any cocaine.
Right.
And I was bugged up.
Oh my God.
And I was on cloud 19 because now I'm going to play with Dizzy.
Right.
And I went down there on Monday night, and he had Bernard Purdy on drums.
Oh.
Mr. Funk himself.
Man.
And he had this bad Latin dude on piano, and I forgot who he had on bass. You understand?
Yeah.
And he was on trumpet, and we killed him.
Oh man.
And from that night
small
on,
combo.
I became Dizzy Gillespie. He referred to me as my new discovery. He never once mentioned that night when I first tried to meet him, you know what I'm saying? And he looked at me like I was
about that.
Never said a word.
Wow.
I wound up going to Cuba with him.
Wow.
You understand? You can get that video.
Yeah, it's a movie. Yeah.
With that great Cuban trumpet
Arturo
player.
Sandoval.
He's a Dizzy. He loved Dizzy Gillespie, man.
Right.
And he he kissed Castro's ass until he got out of there. He was a pure ass kisser.
Yeah.
You know, he loved Castro when we was there.
Right.
Oh yeah. And Castro gave Dizzy, man. When we was leaving, we did a big concert there. You dig it? And the whole film was about the concert we did.
Right.
And Dizzy meeting with Castro and all of those things. And Castro gave Dizzy about maybe 30, 40 boxes of those $75 a piece cigars.
Oh
the best.
My God.
The best Havana cigars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he said to Dizzy, give some of your band members some of these.
Yeah.
You dig it? So Dizzy came and gave us all a box of cigars. I think he gave me 2 boxes of cigars. And he gave all the rest of the cats a box of cigars. And one of the cameramen in the group, Dizzy gave him a box of cigars, right?
Uh-huh.
So now we left Cuba, we got into Miami, and we're coming through walking out of the airport down this big aisle, and Dizzy got one of those carriers, those rolling things that you carry.
Full of cigars.
Cigars and his horns on the top.
Yeah.
About 20 some boxes of cigars he got. and the little cameraman that he gave the box of cigars to come walking by with his box in his hand. And Dizzy said, hey man, come here. And he took the cigar, box of cigar from the cat, strapped it on his stroller, and walked out. And if you could see this cat, that bewildered look on this cat's face, and you should have seen the bewildered look on my face as I'm looking at him taking that box.
Adding it back to his 20 boxes.
Dizzy was the stingiest cat. Man, every time I did a gig with Dizzy, I had to go to his wife to get my money. He never once paid me.
It hurt him to give out the money.
Hey man, legals, they cheap. He was very, very cheap.
Wow.
What's your birthday?